Vlogmas Day 8. As you can see and have already seen, I am home. I stayed home from work today because I just was not feeling well again. Like yesterday, same thing. I don't know if I'm sick or what it is, but I am not sleeping well. I have such a headache. Not a migraine. I do get really bad migraines, but for some reason, since I've moved to Arizona, I have not had a bad migraine, knock on wood. Just a headache, a stiff neck, and my neck's feeling okay right now, but like all night I was just tossing and turning. Like my cheeks hurt, my throat was hurting, but I wonder if it's the weather because it's been really cloudy, but also like hazy, so the air quality hasn't been great. So maybe it's just messing with my sinuses. I don't know, but I also was having that pain that I get on my side and just not feeling good. So I stayed home and I've just had a nice relaxing morning watching Vlogmas. I just found a new Vlogmas that I started watching. I've just watched one episode so far. I think it was Finished Knits. I just I just took a video of the start of her Vlogmas because she has the cutest intro with like a little stop-go animation with some deers and a train. I just thought it was really cute. And she's working on a sweater, the festive pullover, I think it was called. I just saved it to my favorites in Ravelry because it is so cute and definitely something I need to make and have for the holiday season next year. It's adorable, and I actually love knitting color work. I've only done one project so far, but it was a cowl, and I had so much fun with it, and I totally want to do color work again. I need to finish my broadleaf sweater so that I can start a new sweater. I'm done with the hard part. I'm just working on the back panel now, which is plain stockinette, and it's just taking me forever because I keep starting new things. So last night after I finished Magnolia's stocking, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a beanie for her, and I made this one. This is actually big. It's like, I don't think it would fit me. I have a very big head. But this will be for Fisher. I'm making this next one a little bit smaller for Maggie. It's just a crocheted beanie. I'm not really using a pattern. When I actually learned to crochet, I made only beanies forever, for like years. I've been crocheting for I think 11 or 12 years now, and up until 2020 I only ever crocheted beanies, square purses, and I tried doing bikinis and they never really worked well. I just kind of like designed my own tops, but I was using cotton yarn, so they did not do well in the water. So I've made so many crocheted beanies. It will always be something that I go back to. It's so much fun and just like meditative and relaxing, and I don't need to look at a pattern. This one I just did 8 double crochets in a magic circle, and then increased to, I didn't count the stitches on this one, how many I increased to, but I am going to put the details on my Ravelry project page. That way I can I don't even know if it's going to fit him now or if it'll be a little bit big. I think it will fit, and Fisher, my nephew, he loves wearing the things that I've made, so he's going to be so happy to have a new beanie. I just know it, and I'll make a note on there of oh, it fit perfectly, or was a little too big, will fit him soon, or whatever, just so I know how big to make the next one. And then Maggie's, I'm just gonna make a tiny bit smaller. I think her head is a little bit smaller than his. I don't know. I texted my sister, but I don't think she was awake yet because Hawaii is 3 hours time difference, so she's probably still sleeping or getting the kids ready for school, actually, because it's Thursday. I think the kids are actually 6, so she's busy being a mom. But yeah, I did finish Magnolia's stocking. I'm gonna finish this hat here in a little bit. It takes me I think an hour to crochet a kid's hat. Maybe a little bit longer if I'm going slowly because I've been watching Vlogmas, like I said, so I start spacing out. And then I'm going to package up her box that I'm sending her. We're doing a gift exchange box, which I've already talked about in another episode, but I'll show what I'm sending her. Besides the hats and the stocking, I've got Sarah just a couple little gifts. And then I'm totally unprepared for the rest of my family's gifts, so probably gonna be late for Christmas. They're not getting a hand knit or they're not getting a handmade item with yarn, but I have an idea for something else fun. I want to make some jam to send them, but I'm not ready to do that, and the shipping deadline to get to Hawaii is actually coming up, so, or I think it's this week. If I don't ship it this week, it probably won't make it to Hawaii by Christmas unless I do priority shipping, which whatever. Anyways, I'm not ready. I don't have all the stuff, and I'm not going shopping. So they'll have to wait a few weeks, which is fine. But that's something I'm excited about. I'll have to film that process because that'll be fun. I've never made jam before. Actually, I'm going to make a marmalade. The difference between a marmalade and what a marmalade is, I read about this recently. A marmalade is like a citrus jam. So it's got like citrus in it and peels, and you cook it down so that the peels are soft, and it's still sweet but citrusy. And I think that will be fun to try. It's gonna be a lemon raspberry marmalade. That sounds delicious. My stomach is actually growling now that I'm talking about this. I need to go make something to eat. But I'm just so cozy here on the couch. I took Tylenol and it did help my head a bit, but then I was feeling like a little bit nauseous. I don't know if that was from the tea I had. Sometimes I don't drink any caffeine, and sometimes if I drink like black tea or green tea, maybe just because I'm not used to the caffeine, it makes my stomach sick. But yeah, I'm a mess over here. But anyways, I have now been talking for 7 minutes. That was really easy to do. I'll check in later. You guys, you're in the Christmas tree. Sherman. So I wanted to share more about my, I think I've talked about my sourdough starter a little bit, but I haven't filmed my feeding routine yet, which I'm not gonna do right now, but I am gonna show it because it's doing really well. So basically with a sourdough starter, it's just flour and water, and I am not an expert. This is my 3rd try. My first one worked, and I did make bread, and I did make some discard recipes, but then I got sick. I got like the norovirus or something. This was months ago, and I could not even think about food for well over a week. Like the thought of looking at my sourdough starter made me sick. So I put it in the fridge and it died, and I just didn't have the energy to I think sometimes if it's not too far gone, you can revive it. And by died, I mean it smelled, it wasn't moldy, but it was like a grayish color and it didn't smell good. So I think you can revive it from there, but I just didn't have the energy, so I gave up on it. So then I started another one a couple weeks ago, and that one just wasn't doing anything. So I gave up on that one, and now I started another one. And I'm the type of person that I'm so afraid to mess up on anything. I want everything to be done right and perfectly, and I'm trying to move away from that. And I was reading something the other day that really sparked something in my brain. That's use every situation. If you want to try something new, use it as, I'm butchering this, something as, okay, how do I say this? I cannot remember exactly how I read it, but use it learning new things as like a way of playing. Like just think of it as like you're playing. I'm just having fun here. So I was like, I'm just gonna start a new starter and I'm just gonna like experiment with it. I had read so many things and watched so many videos and was following things to the T, and everyone says something different and every starter is different. So I was like, I'm just gonna do my own thing and just try it. It's literally just flour and water, and you're trying to get it to like smell not sour, no, it is sourdough, but you don't want it to smell bad. Like it smells like alcohol. You don't want that. And you want it to like rise and be bubbly and all that. Like I said, this is not a tutorial. I'm not going to go too far into detail, but anyways, my starter is doing well. But then I have another thing that I'm doing, another ferment, and it's garlic and honey. And I've read that it's really good for your immune system. And I just happen to have a giant, hold on, my arm's getting sore, a giant thing of garlic and a giant bag of honey. So I was like, I'm just going to try it. And it's been a couple weeks now, and I just tasted it this morning because, like I said, I've been feeling under the weather, so I thought maybe I could use an immune booster. And it's interesting. I don't love the taste of the garlic, but it like has a texture almost like roasted garlic. Like it got soft, chewy, kind of like almost like a candy. But then the honey is interesting. It's like a spicy honey, so I'm just gonna show it. Because it is fermenting, it does like bubble and leak out a little bit and pour over. So this does need to be cleaned. But this is my garlic honey, and you can eat both the garlic and the honey and just spread it on toast. And yeah, it's interesting. And I wouldn't really put it on in anything because like I don't really want it in tea because I want my tea sweet, and this is like a spicy honey. It's really odd, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, it's fun. I just like experimenting with these fermentation things. So here's my sourdough starter. So I fed it last night, and I have it in this little nest, which is also a new thing I'm trying because it won't do anything if it's too cold, and the counter does get cold. So I thought by having it on this little towel that might help. And I also have it under our heater vent. And look, where the rubber band is where it was last night when I fed it, and it's doubled in size, and it has so many air bubbles. So basically what they say is that your starter is going to be a representation of your bread. So if your starter is rising and bubbly, then your bread is going to rise and be bubbly and airy. You want those air pockets and those bubbles. So I'm definitely not making bread today, but and you leave the lid loose in case it like grows a lot, because some of them will like really grow and pour over, which I hope doesn't happen, but it's not a big deal if it does. But you just leave the lid loose to get some airflow in there a little bit, and so that your jar doesn't explode if it does get that big. But yeah, I'm really happy that it's working, and I can't wait to make some discard recipes too, because I make these sourdough discard chocolate chip cookies, and they're the best cookie I've ever had, hands down. Okay, gotta go, Pete's calling. Anyways, I know that was kind of rambly talking about those things, but I do, well, the channel started as a, oh my God, my cat is attacking the string on my pants. This channel started with my sister of us doing crochet alongs together, and while I would say that knit and crochet and yarn related things are definitely my main hobbies, I do want this channel to be more of like inclusive of all my hobbies, and baking is a huge one of those. As you have seen the last couple days, I did a lot of baking, and especially dough, bread. I love dough. I love playing with dough. I love how it turns out different every time. I love how it's so variable, and I'm loving using this as a form of play to learn and experiment and try new things and remind myself that like things don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to, that there's no harm in like not following directions to the T, you know? Because when I was doing that for my sourdough starter, it wasn't working. And now that I'm like just taking the knowledge that I've learned from all these different resources and like just figuring out what works for me, it's been great. It's working the best. So yeah, I figure Vlogmas is a good way to like get started on that. And because Vlogmas isn't just about knitting, right? It's about just your daily life. And that's just a good way for me to like start to show these other things that I also enjoy. Yeah. I'm just watching my dogs out the window as they stand there and watch me. They wanted to be outside, but I didn't want to go out with them because I'm making some food. But I'm laughing just looking at my yard and what a mess it is. It's like full of dog toys. And then we left their bowls out there last night. That dog kennel is actually my compost bin, which might sound weird, but it really was the perfect way to start a compost pile and keep the dogs from eating the food out of it or like digging in it or anything. But the beds are out there drying because the cat keeps peeing on them. Just disgusting. I don't know why she started doing that, but cats are awful, so that's probably why. And yes, I love my cat. However, I am still very much a dog person. My dogs are very good. They do not do that. But this little naughty girl does do that. You're naughty. And good dogs and bad cat. But I guess this is just real life, right? Our yard is not perfect. They play in it and they take their toys out there and they tear them up. And I pick up the pieces and then they tear them up again. But they're happy and that's all that matters. It really is a beautiful yard though. The grass is kind of dying now that it's getting to be winter. It's a little bit cold. But our big tree is beautiful. And I'm really grateful to have such a nice big yard for the dogs. We pay a lot of money to have this yard for the dogs. Furiosa, do you have anything to say for yourself? Why are you peeing on the dog beds, huh? Why do you do that? She feels no remorse. That's okay.
Morgan help.
I just finished watching the movie that I started last night, which was called A Castle for Christmas, and I had no idea that this was gonna happen, or what it was about or anything besides, you know, that she gets a castle for Christmas. But knitting and yarn is like a part of the storyline. What a wonderful surprise that was. I mean, I don't think they're actually knitting, but there's like a knitting circle, they talk about yarn. Highly recommend. Such a cute movie. As far as it being Christmassy, it was more so just taking place during Christmas, one of those things. So I would rate that about I don't know, 3.5 Christmas trees. 3 Christmas trees and one little one. And then as far as it being a cheesy romance, it definitely was a very cute cheesy romance. I'd give it 4 Christmas trees on that. Super cute movie. Totally worth watching. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And then I just finished another stocking. Oh, didn't weave in an end. Actually, I think I just need to trim that one. But this is the stocking that I am making for my family. I have most of them made already. This one actually was made. I just added the fur like a couple weeks ago, and then it took me forever to do the hanger tag. I just finished that, so now it's all done, and I only have to make one for Furiosa. It's so hard to show the whole thing because it's huge, but there it is. It's beautiful. And then we just need to get our hangers and hang them up. And then I started Furiosa's. I'm feeling like I'm ready to knit again though, so I got my project bag down here, full of my little mini ducks on the top. And I'm gonna work on broadleaf, my broadleaf sweater. I said the other day, was it yesterday? It was only yesterday, that I got some exciting news, and I'm not gonna share about it or talk about it publicly yet, not for a while, but it is very exciting, very big, life-changing news. And I would like to have my broadleaf sweater finished before that happens. So I'm gonna try to work really hard on that. It's a brioche sweater by Woolen Pine Design. I started it, I want to say back in like March or April. This has been a very long-term work in progress, a very difficult project. I really struggled with the brioche front panel. I'm done with that. It looks amazing. And I'm just on the plain stockinette back. And it's just taking me forever. So I'm gonna try to make an effort to work on that more and get that finished so that I can seam it up and do the sleeves and be ready to wear it. So yes, that is my goal, is to finish that by Christmas. Actually, I'd like to wear it on Christmas Day, really. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. We'll see if that happens. I will update my progress here, because really my only Advent project is my Freckled Whimsy striped socks, and those, it only takes me about 10 minutes to do, like 10 minutes per sock, if even that. I think it is about 10 minutes per sock. So that's a pretty quick project that I've been doing every day. I've been really enjoying it, but I do sometimes feel like I just want to work on it more. But I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm just doing the one stripe a day. I finished Magnolia's stocking. Little cat stocking, that'll work up quick. I feel like all my like obligation stuff is done. This Magnolia's stocking was stressing me out a bit, because I definitely need to get that to Hawaii by Christmas. But it's done, it's packaged, it's sending out tomorrow. And yeah, now I can focus on other things. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Yeah, I'm gonna it's only 5:30, but start getting ready for bed here soon. I do have to work tomorrow. I am feeling a bit better. I'm definitely not sick. I don't know what my problem is, why I'm not sleeping, but this is probably because of my pain on my side. Sometimes it gets so bad that I just feel like nauseous and miserable everywhere. So fun stuff. But yes, I will be going to work tomorrow, so definitely won't be getting as much knitting and crocheting and stuff done tomorrow, but that's okay. It was a great day today. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna film anything else. Not much else happening. I'm gonna watch Andrea Mallory's podcast on YouTube now, because I'm all caught up on Vlogmas, and I just finished the Christmas movie, so I'm not gonna start another movie right now. And then I'm gonna make some pasta for dinner and call it a night. So yeah, it's been a great Vlogmas day 8. Great day 8. See you tomorrow.